was something that's crucial to every business to operate and survive. Without money flowing into the companies can't pay salaries, can't spend on marketing, can't really expand the business.
Welcome to our series entitled the IAM Podcast, a podcast about innovation, business, and most importantly, people. In this series, we'll be talking to founders, executives, and various experts about their vision, challenges, best practices, and lessons learned throughout their journey. Let's get started. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the IAM Podcast. Today, I'm excited. I'm joined by the CTO and co-founder at Gaviti, Alex Komorovsky. Hey, Alex.
Hey, May, everyone.
How are you doing?
Good, doing well. Exciting time, growing, busy.
Good to hear that. Okay, we are all excited. I'm sure they are also, and they want to know. The people who are watching and listening would love to know you more. So please share your background, your experience, your expertise.
Sure. I've been a programmer, so I've been programming since a very young age. Since I got, I think, my first computer at the age of 10, doing programs, building websites for fun and also for a bit of money on the side. So that was amazing. And for the last 15 years, I've been professionally working as a programmer. I was a developer and also became a manager. And in recent years, also entrepreneur and a tech entrepreneur. 3.5 years ago, I founded Gaviti with my co-founder and CEO, Jan Lazarev. And we went on a mission that we really want to help businesses to get paid faster. It sounds trivial that businesses need to receive the money they own, but it's a very hard thing to do to make sure it happens.
Yeah. Okay, so how did this idea come about? Some of the things that, build up is from personal stories or experiences. How about in your case?
So in my case, it's actually my co-founder case. He was working for many years as finance manager and mainly focusing on collecting invoices due to the companies. He was making sure that the business would get all the money owed and on a timely manner. We work both in a company called the Cornerstone On Demand. I was there working in a dev team, and he was heading the collection and billing team. And he was facing challenges that the company grew fast, so also the amount of invoices grew fast. And it was a challenge to collect all those invoices to make sure they are processed and the company is getting money flowing. So he had challenges on scaling on that. They did it very manually, as most companies today in the world still do it manually. So working with that, they had more and more people doing that task, but without any automation mind behind it. So, Jan and me, we would going and having a lot of coffee talks, and it was something nice for us to talk on different aspects of life and things. And one thing led to another. He was like talking to me and saying about his challenges, and then we realized that there is a big, actually huge opportunity to help not just the company that we worked for, but many companies to collect better, to perform better on their task, challenging for almost every business around there.
Okay, so you said yes. So companies are still doing, I don't know, traditional paper check. So how is that hurting the company? Or what's the impact?
It's not even a paper check, but actually the process itself is very manual. So let's say a company is providing a service, sending an invoice, and they have a payment terms of net 30, net 60. So they should get paid in a month. Someone needs to remember that they need to get paid in a month. Hope that their customer also remembers to pay in 30 days. And if they're not paying in 30 days, to follow up, to check the status. Now multiply this process, but let's say by 1,000 invoices, 2,000 invoices. And what happens is that 50% on average of invoices usually are paid late because when they forgot about that, no one really checked with them that everything was received, or the product or service was received correctly. Maybe they have an issue with the invoice. That means that someone need to walk and check that. And that's before we even talk about the payment methods, if they are by check or wire or credit cards, but just the actual process of having someone to do the action of payment. That's something that takes a lot of manual work today. And those things translate into invoices are getting paid late, meaning cash flow is running late. When cash flow is something that's crucial to every business to operate and survive. Without money flowing into the company, the companies can't pay salaries, can't spend on marketing, can't really expand the business. So having the money flowing quickly to the business also helps the company grow more and more.
Okay. Yeah. So before we go to that very big problem of cash flow, I would love to ask you, like, okay, when Jan talked to you about the idea, he's coming from that. And how was that? Take us to the table where you first talked about this idea.
Oh, actually, yeah, I have this memory of that part. He came to me, so we always had once a day. We both of us were not smoking, so we always had at 3 p.m. 5 minutes coffee break at work, and we're coming both from different teams, so it was always great to talk and about different things for 5 10 minutes. And he was really raising to me like, how come that they're doing it so manually? They need to repeat itself, and he was actually looking for something, some solution, maybe to automate the process because it was very hard for him also to get more and more employees into his department, train them, and also retain them. Because being collector is a very tough job. You need to call people, tell them that you need their own money. So to retain those employees, it's not easy at all. So he was looking to automate it, but he did an analysis looking for something that will help him. He didn't find anything that is suitable. Like he found huge solutions for very large enterprises, like Fortune 500 companies. He found the solutions for micro businesses, for like let's say a business owner that have 2 3 employees, but nothing for a company that operates already in scale, a mid-market company. But there's nothing like really that can help him with that task. And one thing led to another. Like we said, okay, but we can do that. It is solvable. We can take what the thing that works for the enterprises and to apply it to for those mid-market companies that usually don't have the budget and resources to have to go into this big projects of adding account receivable automation. So from there we left our jobs. We went for almost a year of ideation and understanding how we tackle that problem, how we solve it, who we address, because there's different types of businesses. And after that year of ideation, we also raised our first funds for the company and started building the system and getting the first employees and first customers. So we almost had customers from day zero, paying customers, because they saw the value of having this system very quickly. And since then, it was 3 years ago, we raised more money. We are now about 20 employees and growing, and also acquiring more and more customers, happy customers that are using it and see the benefits of Gaviti. And we are proud of our customer success. We see that we have a very high retention rates because companies see the value of having this system in place, and we're happy to help them.
Nice. So you have customers from day zero. A lot
Yeah.
of people are waiting for this solution. Okay, so talk to us. How big was the problem? I mean, how many companies experience late payments and everything?
So around 50% of businesses, give or take, operates in B2B, meaning they are selling to another business. Once they are selling to another business, they also providing payment terms because this is how business operates. And it doesn't matter which kind of payment method will be used, but there are payment terms between those businesses. So it means that 50% of business have this challenge. It doesn't mean that Gaviti will work well for all those businesses, but it will work for the majority of them. They will definitely will have benefits of Gaviti. So Gravity helps well when there is a scale in the business. So when a business needs to collect thousands of invoices on a monthly basis and to engage hundreds or thousands of customers, then we really shine. We help them to scale. If they growing and grow, then we help them with those growing pains. And also, if there are more traditional businesses that have a steady growth, with us, they have just a much better performance on accounts receivable.
Okay, so this is for companies who issue like thousands of invoices per month.
Yeah. But we
Oh,
have also like in the hundreds, so I wouldn't
hundreds of
say just
thousands.
thousands, but not someone that probably is issuing 20, 30 invoices per month. It will be a bit harder for us to bring in value, although we can still bring value. But the sweet spot will be hundreds of invoices and thousands. Then we definitely bring a big impact because it's also a bit of a number game. You collect more and more invoices, you have higher chances to improve uh, in when using system like Gaviti versus doing it manually. It's very hard because to the effort of collecting an invoice worth of $500 and an invoice worth of $10,000, time effort to do it manually will be pretty much the same.
Mm.
Sometimes it's even harder to collect the $500 versus the $10,000 because of budgeting and approvals and things like that. So the fact of not to do it manually saves a lot of time for the organization and to focus on the things that really matter. What things are really matter is problem solving. People help when there are things that systems can do. For instance, let's assume uh, I delivered you a product, but you're not happy with that because I delivered you the wrong product. I'm not paying you because you're not paying me because I delivered the wrong product. So this is a problem that you need to solve. But if I'm not paying because I forgot to submit the invoice internally for accounting, or the person, or I forgot to actually sign the check, that's something that's it's very easily done by engaging the customer, reminding him, talk to him about that, and making sure it's in his top to-do list of paying you as a vendor, and you won't be down in the list of things he needs to do.
Mm. Yes, so right. Like sometimes I don't intend to really miss that, but it's just like okay, they're drowned in the inbox. So talk to us about the existing solutions. Like how better is Gaviti for those enterprises?
So It's interesting when we see when we communicate with prospects and clients. Most of the time, we are not seeing any other solutions. It's mostly how they used to do things done manually with spreadsheets, with their accounting system to go and just look at the reports and decide how they want to approach the customers, how to prioritize the customers. And with Gaviti, what they do, they actually have it in one system that's focused on collections. It takes out a lot of the manual processes of reaching out to customers and prioritize customers. So it means that they focus more on the feedback coming for customers that they need to resolve. It also prioritizes for the collectors, those people who need to collect the invoice, to whom they should talk when. So it means that they don't need to go and figure out by themselves, but actually the system assigns to them. Okay, let's say we try to remind the customer for a while. Now it's your time to give them a call, or maybe not the collector now. Maybe now it's time to pass that call to the sales agent because he has a good relationship with the customer to really push him for payment. The conversion here for a successful collection is payment. So it's very much reminding also how marketing automation works. It's trying to bring someone to perform an action in a website or purchase something. Here we are trying to bring a person or a group of people to actually perform a payment on the invoice that was issued for them.
Interesting insight. So later we'll go to that user story, like explain to us. But okay, we need to know first. So how does this thing work? Talk to us about the integrations. Like, do you have to be an expert to use this get this up and running?
Great question. Many finance people, they know that they need to operate with multiple systems. They're really afraid of integrations. It's something that's being talked a lot in sales conversations and also with the customers. So what we focused in Gaviti, we built a really strong integration engine. So it will be much easier for the customers to integrate with Gaviti. And we built it in a way that even a finance manager without almost any IT resources is able to create an integration with Gaviti. And also, it doesn't matter if it's an on-prem system or cloud-based system. We envisioned in our mind how a collector works, and they usually work with reports. And we're taking those reports of data and process them in Gaviti, so they will have all the insights and automation in Gaviti. So that's already a very smooth sale there. After they have the data in Gaviti, then they can create automatic engagement workflows, meaning emails that are being sent, text messages, or any other engagement ways to send to customers on different times, highly personalized. They can control it, and also schedule of internal notification to notify collectors when they need to call salespeople or any other people in the organization knows to the time to do an action for that customer. Maybe it's a customer that's really ignoring everything. Now maybe it's time to let the warehouse people know not to ship any products anymore to that customer, for example. That might also another use case. Through Gaviti, their customers can pay securely directly. So it's also easier for them to do payments online. But we still will not replacing completely more traditional checks. If they prefer to do a wire or checks, it's also acceptable as long as our customer getting paid. That's the main goal. Their customers can also go and see the status with the vendor, who is Gaviti customer, about the future invoices, past invoices, to see all the history. It's all done in one place. So
Amazing. Okay. You said you have customers from day zero. So please talk to us about that. Who are you offering your products to? Who uses your product?
We distinguish companies in two main big categories. One is the service provider category, and one is manufacturer slash distributor. So the one category service provider, it can be lawyers, accountants, SaaS companies, marketing companies, any company providing a service. And the second category is manufacturers. It's those companies that actually move things, tangible things. Can be from paper cups to metal bowls or any other things. And we have a variety of customers on both categories. So it's applicable to both of them, and from there we can go into much diverse verticals inside. That's why the main focus that we have is that they are selling on scale. That they have at least someone in their company that is dedicated for collections. Because we understand that they are a good fit for using Gaviti. Someone is managing Gaviti, building all the workflows, and Gaviti becoming the go-to tool for them to do the collection task.
Okay, so anyone who has like a collection officer that issues hundreds to thousands of invoices. Okay,
At least one,
at least
if
one.
not a whole department.
Okay, so yes, share with us a user story. How did, after using Gaviti, what happened and how successful?
Oh, that's an amazing question. Recently, we had a big customer that we knew for the second year, and it was very interesting to hear her feedback because of various interesting points of how she sees DSO. So there is a metric in collection called DSO. It means days sales outstanding. This is how CFOs usually measure collections. Uh, this CFO said that since she joined the company a few years ago, she was able to reduce the DSO on each year by 1 day. And each time she is reducing this metric for the year, it's worth millions of dollars. After using Gaviti for a year, she managed to reduce it by 5 days, and that's a lot. It's amazing. It's
Yeah.
what she did in a few years in 1 year of using Gaviti. She did much better, and that's why she happily renewed the license. I believe she even signed a multi-year license because she saw the value of using the system. And this is not the only stories we hear. We know that on average, after using Gaviti, they managed to reduce 20, 30% the DSO. What does it mean? It means that the business now have more money coming quickly. Super important. It's impactful on the bottom line. So they see the ROI of Gaviti very quickly. Also, another feedback that we got from users, and we're dealing with finance people, and uh, unfortunately, they're not the main target usually of companies of building a nice and pleasant tools to work with. And we put a lot of emphasis on very good UX for the Gravity platform. And they were very happy because they finally said that finally someone is thinking about us to make our day-to-day life easier when we work with a tool, and not just to work with a bunch of tables and spreadsheets, and that's it. So that was amazing to hear that.
Amazing, amazing. Yeah, so where are your customers? Are they local in Israel or where else are they?
Most of our customers actually are in North America,
Mm.
most in the US. We have customers. in Canada, UK, Cyprus. We have in Israel as well. We have in the UAE, Singapore, Philippines, Australia. I'm sure I missed a few countries, but it just shows that the need is very universal. We are focusing mainly on US with direct sales, but we're helping customers wherever they come.
Amazing.
As we put for ourselves like our vision in Gaviti is to build a strong company that really helps businesses to get paid faster. I think it brings a lot of positive value for companies.
Right. I think a lot of people need that solution everywhere in the world. Right?
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, we're would love to hear about your team. How many people are there in your team, and talk to us about the culture?
that's a really nice question. We are today about 20 people, and we're growing. We're hiring more. I'm very proud that we have a very diversified team, meaning coming from very various backgrounds, religions, and everything. I just counted recently, and we are about 50-50 splits between men and women in the company. So I'm very proud of that. Uh, and 65% of the team here in Israel, for example, they are actually immigrants. They weren't born in Israel. Maybe it's also coming the fact that my co-founder and me were immigrants 30 years ago, but who counts? But this brings us because we have such a diversified team. The culture is very nice. Like we hear different ideas, different ways of thought, and we really want to preserve this kind of diversified culture.
Nice. So, how do you encourage people to speak up, considering that diversity? How do you make sure inclusivity, openness, transparency is there?
That's a good question. We try to do, we as a management also to be transparent with the employees, and we explain about things. We make sure that they also understand the motivation of things that we put as goals and targets in the company. So we ask them questions to make sure that they understand why we're doing things in the company. Not always clear to everyone why things are being done. And we really try to encourage everyone to speak up their minds in different forums. For instance, even our Slack communications, we try to encourage everyone to write in open channels, so everyone will be able to learn and advance. And also in the company itself, we're having also bi-weekly meetings where that people present to all the other teams their accomplishments, what they are doing, and usually also different people, different team people, members are presenting it. So to hear it from everyone, not always the same people.
Oh, okay. So, do you manage remotely, or are they required to come to the office, or how is it the
So
setup?
today we are working in a hybrid
Mm.
way. Where most people coming a couple, 3 days a week to the office. Also depend on the team. Because we saw there's a big benefit of doing meetings and conversations when you are inside the office. Although we're doing this interview in Zoom, but there is a difference when a team communicating
Face to
in the
face.
office, face to face. And then everyone have a choice. If the rest of the time they take it from home or they come to the office. We have a few people that's coming almost every day to the office, other less. So we try to do this hybrid mix. I think this is what we came to realization after all these waves of COVID that we had in the last couple of years. And and also to have this social engagements to actually see people in person.
Yeah. Okay. So, as a CTO, what were or what are your challenges, major challenges that you have encountered so far?
So far it's actually hiring. It's I think almost every tech company that you'll ask have a challenge on hiring the right people, the good people. And because today also we are 20 people and it's not a big team. And in order to preserve this type of culture that we built, and I'm very proud of that culture, it's very hard to find the right people that fit to the company with all the skill sets that they bring. Uh, that's something that we're trying to build as quickly as possible. Because one of our plans for this year, for instance, is almost to double the team, and that's a big challenge, mainly on hiring. Other challenges is also about uh, building more ways of acquiring new users to diversify that. So we have put for ourselves a task to making our product more and more product-led growth type of product. We already see the beginning of that. So that's something that this year will be, most of in our very high now to-do list.
See.
Uh, and of course, for the whole company is, like I said before, is to preserve the growth to sustain us.
Yeah. So, well, any thoughts? How are you going to take that on? Take on the challenge.
Uh, First, staying focused. It's very easy thing to do, very hard thing to easy thing to say, very hard thing to do. To stay focused. Uh, that's why we put to ourselves goals and we keep reminding ourselves where we want to be a year from now, and to make sure that all the things we do, it's either in product, sales, marketing, that we see always those goals in front of us, and all the actions that we perform are towards those goals. So that's why we work a lot internally and focusing everyone about those goals, because this is what actually help us as a guideline where we want to be as a company a year from now.
Okay, I just remembered like Itai Kizuru, he's also a CTO, and I think he mentioned about okay, he uses a journal to stay focused. So I'm interested to ask you, how do you stay focused? How do you make sure everything is aligned?
So we took the main big goals to put to the company, and then we are breaking it to a smaller team goals and individual goals, and then also for each team member, we make sure all the time that they are aligned with all the things that they are working on is close to the goals that they put to themselves. So I'm not using a journal, but I'm using a lot of my calendar and Slack to make sure that things are documented there. That I put myself the time also to this focus time on working on a very important task that progress the company. I think that's most of it, to be as productive as possible. And we have today so many amazing tools that can help us to be productive. So there's a just to make sure that there's a balance between using so many tools, but not also get lost with all the notifications and the
Yeah.
emails coming up.
Okay, thank you. So, is there any belief in the startup space that okay, now you say I definitely disagree with that?
Yeah, I have something, and that's it. I think there's like a belief here in at least the local ecosystem that most employees and founders should come from certain background and even certain military units in the army here in Israel. And being from none of the above, I think we actually, and most of our employees are not like that. I think we built a very diversified team that actually builds a great company and brings a very good results. So it's breaking this, I would say, a belief that this is the only way it can be done.
Amazing. Okay, well, if they want to automate or if they want to speed up, accelerate their accounts receivable and everything, where can they easily reach you?
Oh, the easiest way is to go to websites, submit a book a demo form. Quickly, someone will reach out to you, talk to you, and help you to see what is the best solution we can provide you.
Okay, wow. Okay, so we will put the link of everything on the show notes. Thank you very much, and we appreciate your time, Alex.
Thank you. Have a good day and good week.
This podcast is powered by IAMOps.io. Optimize your cloud infrastructure and CI/CD process with IAMOps.io dedicated DevOps team. Check out www.iamops.io and get a DevOps team now. Make sure to check out www.iamops.io if you want to know more about us. Subscribe to our podcast so you can get notified every time we post a new video. Thank you, and you have a great day.